The Timberwolves face the Grizzlies in a huge game in the Western Conference. We're going to break that down, give you a pick on the side, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the Bucks and the Pelicans. Welcome, everyone. I'm Andy from WagerTalk. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 200,000 subscribers. What a huge milestone that would be. So if you haven't subscribed and you could help us out a little bit, go ahead and get subscribed to the channel. Get notified on all of our videos. We've got UFC breakdown videos that are up, PFL. That is up, and Masters is up as well. Those are videos that we did, and those are all on the YouTube channel. All places we found at wt.buzz/AL. Let's take a look at the Grizzlies and the Timberwolves, and I just like the Timberwolves in this matchup. The Grizzlies are kind of this little bit of a strange team. First off, you've got Ja Morant, who really hasn't been playing a whole lot this season, and they have won 3 in a row, all 3 of those games on the road. Miami, 2-point win, 6-point win at at Detroit, and then a big win against the Charlotte Hornets, who are tanking. I was really impressed with that win against the Detroit Pistons. Why? Because they hadn't beat a team with a winning record since early February. They had just really struggled against the good teams. So you look at their record and you go, okay, they're one of the higher seeds in the Western Conference, but it hasn't really been because of beating the good teams. So that win against Detroit was really, really big for them. When we look at the standings, the Grizzlies are 47-32 there in the 6th seed. And the Timberwolves, they lost the other night. That drops them down to the 8th seed. They're 46-33. It is such a logjam that's right there in the West that you're going to get full effort from this team. And I think the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to be kicking themselves because of how they lost against Milwaukee. Before that, they had won 5 straight. And when you look at some of the metrics, offensive rating, the last 10 games, they're a little bit better than the Grizzlies. Defense, they're a little bit better than the Grizzlies here. And the live odds page has -1.5. So it's basically a pick 'em. I like the Timberwolves. I think their ceiling is much better. I'm not really a big fan of the season that Ja Morant has had. I'm glad he's healthy, but give me Anthony Edwards. If it's, head-to-head Anthony Edwards versus Ja Morant, I like Edwards. I think the Timberwolves kind of have that motivation after blowing the game against Milwaukee. If we're looking for a player prop, listen, Rudy Gobert over 12.5 points. I had been playing that for a few games. He only had 6 points in the last game against Milwaukee, and he only had a few shot attempts. They just were not going at him. He only had 4 field goal attempts. Milwaukee just made a concerted effort. You're not letting Rudy Gobert score. But before that, Gobert was averaging over 17 points. I love the field goals that he was averaging. He was averaging close to 10 or 11, and all of his shots are right near the rim, so he shoots 73% from the field. And you look at the Memphis defense, not that great against centers. 22.5 points per game they're allowed to centers. That is 26th worst in the NBA. So I look for Gobert to do some damage inside, and I look for the Timberwolves to get the win here. We're going to break down the Pelicans and the Bucks, but first, 7-day pass that is available, wt.buzz/AL. This is important. This is important for your bankroll. We have not one, but 2 5% best bets that is up. One is in the PFL. One of them is the UFC. We are number 1 in MMA profits in 2025, and 5% plays have been a big reason. 8-1 in 5% plays in 2025. So when we step out and we have these big plays, they're absolutely worth it. So not only are you going to get those 2, you're going to get all of our NBA plays. You're going to get all of our NHL plays, cricket as well, lacrosse, tennis, and even darts. You're going to get all those plays included for 7 days. We knocked it down to $69. It's a no-brainer because one 5% play is $35. So why buy one play? Go get the 7-day pass, wt.buzz/AL, 11-3 all sports run. And we're number 1 the last 2 years, all sports profit. So take advantage of that, wt.buzz/AL. Quickly, let's go over the Bucks and the Pelicans. It's a 15-point spread. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I kind of like the Pelicans, even though they're barely playing anybody. Alvarado's game time decision. Brown is a game time decision. Missy's game time decision. Boston's out. Hawkins out. They're resting everybody. They've traded everybody. Something stinks about this Milwaukee game, and here's why. Right before we started recording this, Giannis went from playing to questionable with an illness. I'm wondering if they're going to throw this game away because Milwaukee is kind of locked into the 5th seed here. They're, 3 games behind the Pacers? They're 2 games up on Detroit. I don't think this is a spot where they want to play their starters a bunch of minutes when you're playing a Pelicans team that is tanking. So I think you're going to get a lot of the backups that are playing big time minutes. And even though the Pelicans are basically a team of backups right now with what they're throwing out, 15 points is just way too much. They last lost to Brooklyn, but that was only a 5-point loss. They lost to Milwaukee 2 games ago. That was only a 4-point loss. They did lose big to the Lakers, but 15 points is just too much for a game that I think Giannis is going to be sitting in. So if you want to wait for lineups to be officially announced, wait till later in the day. But if Giannis is out, yeah, I'll be taking the 15 points with the New Orleans Pelicans. So we're going to lean to the Timberwolves. We're going to lean to the Pelicans plus point. We like Rudy Gobert over 12.5 points. Most important, go get that 7-day pass to lock in those 5% plays as well as all sports. 8-1 in 5% plays in 2025. WT.buzz/AL. Good luck on your bets, and we will see everyone later.